Avengers Endgame gave us the quantum split, the biggest cinematic event in history, and one of the most confusing versions of time travel ever put on screen. The rules are laid out clearly. You can't change your own past. Jump into the quantum realm, steal a stone, and you don't erase your future. You create a branch reality, diving into the quantum realm. Neat, simple, airtight. Or at least, that's what Marvel wanted you to believe, because the second you look closer, the whole system starts to wobble. Take Captain America's ending. Steve returns the Infinity Stones, but then decides to stay in the past with Peggy Carter. According to the rules Banner explained, that creates a brand new branch, one where Peggy never marries her husband, never raises her family, and Steve lives quietly in the shadows, while Hydra worms its way through S.H.I.E.L.D. Yet, when Old Man Cap shows up on that bench, he's somehow back in the main timeline. Some argue Steve used the quantum realm again to re-enter the prime timeline as an old man. Others say Peggy's mysterious husband was always Steve, meaning he was part of history all along. Even the filmmakers couldn't agree. The Russos said it was a branch. The writers swore it was the original timeline. Two official answers. No clear truth. And if Cap broke the rules, who's to say the rest of the movie didn't? Then there's Loki. In 2012, the Avengers fumble the Tesseract handoff, Loki grabs it and vanishes. That one moment spawns an entire alternate reality, the same timeline explored in Loki, setting up Kang the Conqueror and Marvel's multiverse saga. In other words, Endgame didn't just undo Thanos, it accidentally launched the multiverse war. And finally, Tony Stark's snap. Fans argue that when Tony erased Thanos and his army, beings pulled from 2014, he created an unsolvable paradox. Those soldiers never returned to their original timeline. Did that reality collapse without its mad titan, or did it spin into chaos without explanation? If the Infinity Stones were returned, but their owners disappeared, is that branch even stable? This is why Endgame's time travel is both genius and broken. It sets the rules, then bends them whenever the story needs. For fans, that uncertainty is fuel. Every scene sparks another theory. Every contradiction feels like a breadcrumb toward the multiverse chaos we're seeing now. Harry Potter and the Fans argue that Dumbledore may have known far more about time travel than he ever let on. Why did he give Hermione a time turner in the first place? An object so dangerous the Ministry locked them away. Some believe Dumbledore deliberately engineered the events of Azkaban, guiding Harry to save himself and Sirius Black. Others push it further. What if Dumbledore had used the time turner before this story, manipulating key events across the wizarding world? Was the headmaster quietly ensuring the war against Voldemort played out exactly as it had to? And then there's the darker angle. If time can't be changed, then fate in the Harry Potter world is absolute. Cedric Diggory's death in Goblet of Fire, fixed. Sirius's fall through the veil, fixed. Even Harry marching into the Forbidden Forest to face Voldemort was unavoidable, already etched into history. The time turner doesn't offer hope. It proves destiny is unshakable. That revelation turned into real controversy among fans. Because if fate rules everything, does Interstellar, Christopher Nolan's Interstellar, isn't just science fiction. It's a story that weaponizes time itself. Instead of wands, wormholes, or paradoxes, the film takes real physics and turns them into emotional stakes. And nowhere is that clearer than on Miller's planet, orbiting dangerously close to the black hole Gargantua. 1 hour on the surface equals 7 years back on Earth. For Cooper, Brand, and Doyle, that means a short expedition becomes a tragedy, because while they wrestle with knee-deep water and a collapsing mission, decades of life pass by for their families back home. Murphy grows up without her father. Humanity inches closer to extinction, and all because of gravity's pull on time. But the movie's biggest paradox isn't Miller's planet, it's the Tesseract. At the end, Cooper falls into Gargantua and finds himself in a fifth-dimensional space, able to see every moment of Murphy's childhood bedroom at once. From here, he sends her the quantum data she needs to save humanity. And that sparks the question, who built the Tesseract in the first place? The movie hints it was created by they, some mysterious, advanced beings. But fan theories have flipped that on its head. What if they weren't aliens at all? What if they were humanity's own descendants, evolved to perceive time as a physical dimension? Or even more dramatically, what if Cooper himself became the very being who orchestrated the rescue all along, caught in a self-fulfilling loop just like Harry Potter's Patronus? That theory takes Interstellar from a movie about survival to a movie about destiny, where time isn't just a measurement but a design. And it gets even darker. Some fans argue Cooper never escaped the black hole. The Tesseract, the reunion with Murphy, even the final shot of him flying off to find Brand Olivet may be a hallucination in his final dying moments. Instead of saving humanity, Cooper may have died in Gargantua, dreaming of the future he desperately wanted to believe in. Interstellar thrives on this uncertainty. Every scientific explanation is layered with just enough mystery to keep fans debating whether Nolan wrote a story about physics or about faith. The relativity of time isn't just a plot device. It's a reminder that every second lost is a life unlived. Every delay carries the weight of an entire generation. James Cameron's The Terminator didn't just redefine action cinema, it redefined time travel as a nightmare you can't escape. Unlike Interstellar, where time is a dimension to be bent, or Harry Potter, where it locks into loops, The Terminator treats time like a trap. Every attempt to change the future only guarantees it. It begins with the war between humanity and Skynet. To secure victory, the machines send a Terminator back to 1984 to kill Sarah Connor before her son can lead the resistance. Humanity counters by sending Kyle Reese to protect her. Seems straightforward until the cycle snaps shut. Kyle and Sarah fall in love, and Kyle becomes the father of John Connor, the very leader Skynet was trying to prevent. The machine's mission didn't erase him, it created him. That's the paradox at the heart of the franchise, the predestination loop. No matter what happens, the timeline bends back to its original outcome. John Connor's birth isn't just fate, it's the direct result of Skynet's interference. In trying to prevent its downfall, the AI sealed its own doom. But fans take this even further. Some argue that Skynet always knew its actions would create John Connor. Sending the Terminator wasn't a mistake. It was the only way to guarantee the existence of its greatest enemy. Because without an endless war, Skynet has no purpose. Humanity must survive just enough to keep fighting, and John Connor is the keystone holding that eternal battle in place. Others push the theory darker still. What if John Connor was never humanity's savior at all, but a product of the machine's design? If Kyle was manipulated into traveling back in time, then John is less a miracle of love and more an inevitable offspring of Skynet's plan. A resistance leader born out of the machine's hands and destined to perpetuate the war forever. That's what makes the Terminator's version of time travel so unsettling. There's no free will, no alternate path. The harder you fight the future, the faster you run into it. And unlike the hopeful notes of Interstellar or the clever puzzles of Harry Potter, Cameron's world is brutal, the future is already written, and every choice is just another step into destiny's jaws. Back to the Future, the mutable timeline. If the Terminator traps its characters in destiny, Back to the Future throws its hero into chaos. In Hill Valley, time isn't fixed. It's fragile, a domino chain where one mistake can unravel your entire existence. When Marty McFly is hurled into 1955, he doesn't just risk being stranded, he risks erasing himself. By accidentally interrupting his parents' first meeting, Marty sets off a ripple that threatens his very birth. The photo of his siblings fading from existence isn't just a gag. It's the physical countdown of his own annihilation. His is the essence of Back to the Future's mutable timeline. Every choice reshapes reality, and that makes it one of the most dangerous systems in movie history. But the theories run deeper. Fans argue that Doc Brown may have known far more than he revealed. How did he so casually warn Marty about the dangers of paradoxes? Why did he already have a plan for sending Marty home? Some believe Doc wasn't surprised by the time travel accident at all, that he had already lived through multiple versions of the timeline, guiding Marty each time until they got it right. Others point to the darker implications of Marty's return. At the end of the first film, he finds his family transformed, wealthier, happier, more successful, but think about what that means. The Marty who grew up with the dysfunctional McFlys is gone, erased. The new Marty belongs to a family he never lived with, in a life he never experienced. Did he really fix the timeline, or did he just overwrite the boy who should have been there? And it gets even stranger. Some fans suggest that each film doesn't show one single timeline, but countless hidden fractures. Every jump, every butterfly effect splinters reality further. By the time we reach Back to the Future Part 3, Marty and Doc may not just be saving their futures, they may be navigating a maze of timelines layered on top of each other, each one more unstable than the last. That's what makes Back to the Future so different from the Terminator. It isn't about fate. It's about chance and how quickly chance spirals into disaster. Every handshake, every kiss, every lightning strike has the power to rewrite reality itself. And once it's rewritten, there's no going back. Tenet, the inverted war. If Back to the Future shows us time as fragile, Christopher Nolan's Tenet rips it apart completely. In this world, time isn't just linear or breakable. It can be inverted, flipped on its head, so that people, bullets, even entire armies move backward while the rest of reality pushes forward. But the film's mysteries only deepen the paradox. Fans point to Neil, the protagonist's loyal ally, as the story's hidden key. His knowledge of events feels too precise, his timing too perfect. The most popular theory? Neil is Kat's son, grown up, recruited into the mission, and looping back to protect the very man who once saved his mother. That means their fates were always intertwined, tied together by actions stretching across timelines. And then there's the darkest idea of all, that the protagonist never truly wins. If time can be inverted, then every victory is just another layer in a cycle that already happened. Each mission, each sacrifice, each bullet already fired, all of it locked into a predestination trap dressed up as chaos. Neil's sacrifice doesn't change the outcome. It fulfills it. This is where Tenet becomes more than a spy thriller. It becomes a story about inevitability disguised as freedom. The more the characters fight to take control of time, the more they discover time already has control of them. It's not about changing the past or saving the future. It's about realizing you've been part of the plan all along, whether you understood it or not. And that's what makes Tenet so unsettling. Unlike Back to the Future's playful chaos, Nolan's inversion feels oppressive, like the walls of time itself are closing in. Every step forward might already be a step backward. Every choice might already be written.